Hello and welcome to Turning Pages, a show that's about more than books. I'm Margaret Porter, and my co-host Paul Brogan unfortunately is not with us today, but I'm not alone. I have two wonderful guests, both of whom represent New Hampshire Writers Project, which is an esteemed and established writers organization here in the Granite State. I would like to introduce first Masheri Chappelle, who is the chair of New Hampshire Writers Project, NHWP, and Traci Bisson, who is the marketing director of NHWP. Welcome to both of you. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate it.
It's great to see you here. Now, Masheri, you've been with the organization for quite a long time in your present position.
Since 2017.
Since 2017. That's a good long time.
That's a nice period of time to really get grounded and to build a nice foundation.
And you're always so energetic. When I see you, it hasn't worn you down at all. It seems like you get more energy and enthusiasm every year.
As long as I don't have iced tea and ice cream, right, Traci?
That's true. Ice cream for sure.
Now, could you tell us a little bit about the mission and the focus of the organization for people who might or might not be familiar with it?
Absolutely. New Hampshire Writers Project has been around since 1988, and we started up in Portsmouth in a button factory. And obviously we've evolved over the years, and our mission has always been to nurture writers. And since I became chair in 2017, it's really become, New Hampshire Writers Project has really become about everyone's project. And so that's all that we focus on, is how we could nurture a writer, grow a writer, and make them a better writer, and get the word out about their work as well, and support them through the publishing process in any way that we can.
Mm-hmm. How would you say the vision has changed or not as the organization has matured over the time that you've been involved, or even before, if you were involved with it before you came on in your position?
I wasn't involved too much. I did a little volunteering, and I think that they were still trying to figure out how much programming we should be doing, other than, back then it was called Writers' Day, now it's called the 603
I remember, yes.
Conference. But when I came on, when I arrived here in New Hampshire in 2010, I wanted a place where I could go and read my work, get feedback, and it wasn't set up that way. And Writers' Night Out is wonderful, but it all, it varied depending upon the location that you went to. And so when I really got a sense of what I wanted as a writer, I then hoped that everybody else wanted the same thing, and just proceeded to create as much as we could, and we've created a lot over the years, so that we fulfill a lot of different needs and criteria for being, when you're, as a writer.
What is the current membership? How many members do you know? Do you track that?
We're just over 300.
Oh, wow.
Just over 300.
That's
and we'll do more consolidation to see if we keep that number. But what's interesting is that we are getting more members who are not necessarily in New Hampshire because of what we do. Many are interested in our group partner, critique partners, or our Writers' Night Out. And actually, our webinars are getting popular again since COVID. So.
And Traci, what are some of the ongoing or upcoming programs that you're really excited about?
I'm really excited about all of the marketing initiatives that we've undertaken.
Understandable.
So the social media we have, it allows us to really have and evolve a community. So one of the things we started this year was a Facebook community, and we have, I think, just over 80 members in there now, where we are able to get together, have peer-to-peer networking, sharing, answering questions, accolades, just getting involved with everybody's great news. And that's been very supportive to people. We've also started a monthly marketing support group on Zoom. So every month we get together for 90 minutes and we have a topic of interest, whether it's author branding or it's social media or it's something else that is a valuable topic for authors. And we discuss it and we set goals and we answer questions. We have a presentation. And we're also starting up some new marketing webinars, which is exciting. And I know we'll have a marketing presence at the 603 Writers Conference as well.
Mm-hmm. And the marketing sessions that happen monthly, that goes through the year. And do you anticipate that that would continue in future years?
That is the goal, because with the kickoff session that we had in January with members, the feedback was very positive. And so what we'll do is we'll reassess it at the end of the year and see if the members want to continue. But I do anticipate that we will. And maybe there'll be some feedback that we add some additional things to it to make it more robust. So that's what we'll find out at the end of the year.
Great. Masheri, do people have to be published, or can they be unpublished to become a member of New Hampshire Writers Project?
Writers of all levels and genres are welcome.
That's a question that a lot of people want to know,
Yeah.
because they hear about New Hampshire Writers Project and support of published authors and marketing and things like that, and they think, oh, I may not be at that level yet.
Absolutely. The majority of our writers are self-published or with indie publishers. And then we have a smaller portion that's traditionally published. But we come from all different backgrounds and experiences in terms of our level of our writing, as well as the genre and the manner in which we publish.
And what various genres of writing does the organization represent? I think it's everything from poetry and on beyond, and fiction, all that.
And speaking of poetry, we do nonfiction and fiction, but recently we really connected with the New Hampshire Poet Laureate, Jennifer Militello, and we're going to be doing quite a bit of programming with her to reach the poetry groups and writers who have not had opportunity. It's been kind of like going fishing and seeing, who's going to bite. And if you have the right people, you can attract the people who are looking for that particular genre. And poetry, as it turns out, is of great interest.
And so is playwriting. Now, you've got experience and involvement in that aspect of writing as well.
Yes, we will try to do another playwriting workshop series. We had one just before COVID started, and we didn't get to finish it because everything just kind of went. We all were in isolation. So, but we will try that again, and I'm hoping to bring in some great people to really do great programming for us with regards to playwriting.
Traci, what services does the organization provide to published authors who might want to get the word out about their books? Speaking for myself, I'm sure I will avail myself of any and all opportunities of those when with my next release coming up, but for people who might be interested.
Well, there's a whole slew of programming, as you know, and I know we're going to speak to that, whether it's our literary write-ins, our literary salons, our 603 Writers Conference, a master class that's coming up that I'm sure we'll talk about more. There's a lot of different ideas that the board has discussed and is testing this year, so we're really excited about that. But some individual services too, like social media promotion,
That's very big.
On our channels. Yep, if you have something that has happened, you've published another book, you have published your first book, you've won an award, we want to know about that and we want to tell our audience about that. That's something that the members really appreciate. Boy, we have so many things. There's the Read Local NH now.
The podcast, and then we have the Writers Den, our radio talk show with WKXL. So we're offering, and I'm really proud of this, so many different outlets to promote writers and to talk about their work and give them a chance to be in the light for a little bit, because it's the hardest part once you're done, once you've gone through all the editing stages, is to find an outlet to talk about your book or create interest in your book. And what we're proud of is that we have established different outlets and formats to do so. And that alone is worth a membership.
Yeah, I mean, one new thing that we did last year, I can't remember if you took part in it, but was our author holiday showcase.
I certainly did,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
That
Which
a
was
great
wonderful.
I
opportunity.
forgot about
We
that.
had
It
over
was
50
perfectly
books.
timed, yes.
Yeah, so it was basically a showcase guide with member books, and it was something that we promoted. We had on our website. We were sharing it around the holidays, promoting shop local and support the authors. But it was a wonderful opportunity as well for people to be included in this, and we got great feedback, and it's something we'll continue to do.
Oh, that's
Absolutely.
great. It was wonderful to see this. The whole showcase had so many different genres of writing, and it really represented so well the breadth of talent within the organization. It was really exciting to
Agreed.
see.
Yeah.
Having a great marketing director changes the trajectory of any organization, and I have to say, since Traci has come on board and is now part of our family, she has just been tremendous and uplifting us and providing us, making recommendations on the types of programming we can do, and then she makes it happen, which is, it's like having a fairy godmother. She ding, and then it appears.
Where's
and
your
it's-
wand, Traci?
it's just, she's just a godsend, and we've been in need of having this type of marketing and ideas and programs for a long time, but we just didn't know how. Okay, we can create it, then what do we do with it? She knows exactly what to do with it. And that's one of the benefits of being a member of New Hampshire Writers Project, is that marketing is what can make you or break you, right? And Traci finds a way to get people to shine.
And you mentioned the Read Local New Hampshire, and Laura Canoy is part of our Concord TV family, and the podcast is recorded right here in the podcast studio right here. And that's been a wonderful new opportunity that authors have, that they can submit for a recommendation or to be put on the podcast, and it's a great service that people have. And I know that it's great for Laura too, because that she has all these additional people that she can talk to about books, which she loves doing so much.
It's actually been quite a blessing, because you have submissions. We'll have, for the first one, I think we had 16 submissions.
Wow.
Yes, and
That's good.
It was a hard decision. Who do we choose? And so when people realize they have an outlet, they'll make the effort to really create a great literary product that will then be supported and promoted. And so having Laura Canoy, I mean, who would want to be on her podcast,
Right.
has just been something that it has been a remarkable proponent of supporting writers in New Hampshire, I believe.
Oh, definitely, and bookstores as well, booksellers.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely,
she's
because
done great
every
work.
book that's on her show, you can buy it at Gibson's, and we
Yes.
also are doing the same with the Writers' Den. All the books that are discussed on the show, Gibson's will have them, and we're going to be connecting with the Toadstool to do the same.
Now say more about the Writers' Den. That's on WKXL. It's
Yeah.
on the radio, and it's broadcast on the radio, but it's also accessible online on their
Yes.
internet channel.
nhtalkradio.com, and it's again, we've been so blessed with another opportunity, and the format of the show is a little different. We'll have topics about writing or books, and then we have a featured author. And our first show, what was our first show?
AI.
Thank you.
Yeah.
AI in the literary world.
It was perfect.
Yeah. AI in the literary
That's
world.
top of mind for all writers and creatives, for sure.
So that was fabulous, and then we featured an author whose book was tied to AI. And our second one was Black Women in Fiction, the dichotomy of Black women serving others before they can serve themselves. And we talked about Alice Walker, Octavia Butler, and Britt Bennett. And it was just wonderful. It was just a
good.
wonderful
I'll have to listen to that
experience.
one. I listened to Laura's podcast with Cynthia Neal just the other
Wasn't
day,
that
which was really
amazing?
interesting. Yes, yes.
That, I
It was
mean,
good.
so knowledgeable about the Iroquois nation and Catherine of the Tumbling Waters. That was an amazing interview, and it was just, she was so full of knowledge, Cynthia Neal.
Well, that's a good choice, especially considering how many people had applied to be part of that.
Yeah.
But I hope everyone will get their chance eventually. What is the best place for people to access information about NHWP?
Well, there's been some changes to the website as we try to make the user experience more friendly. And so there is a new program calendar on the website. So if you go to the navigation, you can just click that. It'll take you to the new calendar that we've set up. And then it will take you to whatever page for registration. And then also what we're doing is on the Facebook page, we're also putting all of the events as well, so that people can find them in multiple areas. And we've submitted them to NHPR and some other places, so we're hoping to spread all of the good news out there so people can easily find what they're interested in.
And if you just go to www.nhwritersproject.org, it will populate, and I'm so happy that it populates, and it's a website that I love looking at. And you can see everything that all the programming that we're mentioning today.
Now, you've got a lot going on. What's on your wish list or your vision board for the future that you haven't already cooked up?
Oh, Margaret, you don't want to ask me
I
that.
do. I really do. I think as a member, and also to stir interest for prospective members as well.
Well, I would love to continue the podcast and the radio show, but I also want to create a catalog of all of our books for the streaming networks.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bold vision.
Well, but
doable. I mean,
it is doable. And we also, our Literary Hall of Fame, we would like to find a really wonderful home for that. But I feel that we've become so much, we've done so much. I know it's been 8 or 9 years, but I feel like we've done quite a bit. But there's always more, there's always more.
And we're also always seeking feedback from the members on all the great things that they want to see. I mean, that's why some of the initiatives came forth this year, was based on survey feedback from last year. Yeah.
Good. Well, let's talk about the big thing that's coming up, because we want to promote the 603 conference, which is well worth anyone's time and attention. It is always a wonderful and exciting day, and so informative. So weigh in on that, the theme of it, the special guests, all of that.
We have been incredibly lucky. I mean, I'm talking 4-leaf clovers to get Tess Gerritsen. She is, of course, the creator of Rizzoli and I. Well, the television show was based on her series of books. And she is an amazing writer. And as a person, she is one of the most dynamic women writers whose presence I've sat in, and she's just so clear, so crystal clear. But you can see where the strength comes from for her characters, because she embodies it. And so we're going to be, our theme for this year will be women,
Resourceful women.
Thank you, resourceful women. And we are, given everything going on in today's world, we thought that would be an appropriate focus, and all of her, and it's actually representative of all of her characters.
Oh, for sure, yes. Well, I've had the privilege and gift of knowing her for 3 decades or something, for a really long time, and it's been so exciting to see her career go from when she was writing Harlequin romances to when she started writing suspenseful romance to when she started writing the Harvest, her book about scary stuff happening in space, and then the Rizzolian Isles, and now the Martini Club, her new series, which is just wonderful. And I really am so glad that, I mean, she lives in Maine, so she's got no excuse not to hop over the border again to come to New Hampshire and spend some time with us. And
we're excited to have her, and I'm not going to talk too much about the decor, but we're very excited
Oh,
about
You've
well.
got all kinds of special touches that
Yeah.
you're including.
Yeah.
That's always an advantage of
Yeah.
a New Hampshire Writers Project event is the planning, the preparation, the aesthetics, all of that. I can certainly attest
We're never short on
to
ideas.
that.
No,
Right,
I think
right.
our last keynote took home all of the
Oh, yeah.
all of the quotes because his Ernest Thompson. It was the Book of Maps, and we went through the book and we pulled quotes from the different states that the father and son traveled to and put them on a map.
Oh, what a wonderful idea.
Yeah, and we gave them all of them. He wanted all of them.
Yeah.
That's great. That's wonderful. So what, can you give a little sketch of what the day is like, the location, and a preview of what people could expect at the conference?
Absolutely. So the event is from 8:30 to 5, and basically you arrive, and as you know, I like to feed people.
Yes.
So there's a bit of a breakfast, and then we have the keynote.
And is this at Southern New Hampshire University
Yes,
again?
it's at Southern New Hampshire University, the dining banquet facility. After the keynote, there's the book signing. After the book signing, you have a selection of 10 workshops to choose from. They're all 90 minutes each, and if you see something in the morning, you can take it again in the afternoon, which is wonderful. So
Hardly any other conference does that, and it is my favorite thing about the conference because you get a second shot. So it's always hard at a writers' conference to decide which speaker you want to hear, which panel you want to go to, and with this one, you can do one in the morning and then a different one in the afternoon that would have been concurrently with the one you went to in the morning, which is it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It was the simplest thing to do because I couldn't figure out how to give everybody what they wanted and how to schedule it. And I said, okay, track A, you have a bank of 10 classes, and track B, you have the same bank again. So if there's something you saw in the morning, you get to have it in the afternoon.
Right.
And so we have that. So the first class, and then there's lunch, and there's either going to be, we're still trying to determine if it's going to be an interview, if it's going to be a panel, and then after that they go to another class, and then they come back for a famed pitch party.
That's so much fun.
Explain
what that is.
So the pitch party is everyone who attends the conference has an opportunity to submit their synopsis of their book. It's the blurb, a log line, and your title, and essentially you submit it, and there is a character limitation. You submit it, and the panel of judges will read through all of them and select 5, and from those 5, one person will win $250. But the 5 people, the finalists who are selected, will present their pitch, their synopsis. It will be read by an actor to the panel of judges, and now we have a new ritual where our keynote will be part of the judging process, which is lovely.
Oh yeah, to get your work in front of someone, especially like a New York Times best-selling author,
Isn't that an incredible experience?
Yeah.
Yep.
And so they will then, an actor will read their pitch to the panel of judges, and then the judges will ask questions to determine if the author has incorporated everything into their blurb. And the one who has done it best will win $250 bragging rights.
Bragging
That's
rights for
pretty
sure.
good,
Yeah.
and help toward next year's registration fee.
Well, actually, the first person who won, Brenda Chari,
Yes.
she went on to be published.
Oh, I know. I remember that was back in when we were in
2019,
lockdown
yeah.
and Zoom.
In 2020, she won, and she got a 2-book deal, and she's with William Morris Endeavor.
Yeah.
So she didn't do too badly.
That's right. Yeah, that's a real incentive.
Yeah.
And Traci, you said that there would be some marketing content as well.
There will, yep. And I just want to mention too, and I don't think we brought it up, it's Saturday, June 14th.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's
And the
really
networking
important.
opportunities are wonderful. I mean, people meet for the first time, they make new friends, they make new critique partners. It's just a wonderful opportunity. We already have over 140 people on our wait list. So we know
Has it
it's
gone up that much?
Yes.
Oh my dear.
Yes.
Wow.
So those tickets are going to sell very fast. But yes, we do anticipate a few marketing programs. One of the things we're doing right now is we have a webinar coming up at the end of March. We're going to kind of test the idea of the category that we're offering, which is about author branding, and then we'll see if we roll that out at the conference or if we tweak it a little bit based on feedback. So.
And do people have to be a member of the organization to participate in webinars and some of the events and things? Is there a non-member pricing?
There is non-member pricing, and I would like to also add that for our 603 conference, we do the early bird pricing, so that people can save some money and still attend. And we've learned that people appreciate that.
And when does registration open for the
Middle of
conference?
April.
Middle of
Okay.
April, yes.
So about 5-ish weeks from now. Great.
I can't
People are
believe it.
waiting.
I'm already
with
excited. I can't
bated
wait.
breath.
Well, and I have to say, as someone who's been a previous speaker, having that dual track is so fascinating because you do a presentation in the morning with a certain group of people, and you think, okay, and then you do a second with a second group of people, and the whole it's really different. There's just a different vibe and a different kind of conversation, and it's really rewarding. So the speakers are as fortunate as the participants, I think.
That is a good point. Thank you. And we have another very special programming coming up, our master class with Ernest Thompson, and that's a 3-hour master class with lunch that also has an early bird pricing, and his master class, I believe, is on April 5th, and that's going to be at St. Anselm, though.
Okay.
But having these opportunities for someone, and I don't know anyone else who's offering this kind of one-on-one intimate setting with an Academy Award-winning
Yes, that doesn't happen
screenwriter and author.
outside of Hollywood or New
Yeah.
York City. Yeah.
So it's not a video that's on Facebook and they're talking, they're just talking at you and you're listening. He's right there.
In the room.
He's right in the room with them. Yes.
Well, and in our process of getting ready for the masterclass too, I had the privilege to talk with a number of people who had taken previous classes with him, and just the things that they learned and the stories they had to share and the experiences they had. I'm so excited for him to offer this to our members.
That's great. Well, thanks for getting that to happen. That's going to be a good experience
Yeah,
for
we're grateful
everyone, I'm
for
sure.
Ernest Thompson taking his time to
To
offer
share.
his talent.
He's been
Yeah.
so generous in so many ways.
He is very generous.
Yes. Okay, so Masheri, in the time that we have left, you are also a publisher. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, my publishing company, I'm an indie publisher. My company is called Portal Star Publishing, and essentially I'm looking for meta-human stories, meaning ordinary people having extraordinary experiences. The majority of our storylines does have a psychic, spiritual element to it. But they're all inspirational stories. And we actually have brought on a new author. We did a little branching off children's book. And the youngest attendee at the 603 conference last year, she brought her book, The Chillaxing Bee. Her name is Charlotte, last name?
Holland.
Thank you, Charlotte Holland. And 8.5 years old, she wrote a book. And she was trying to get someone to tell her, help her. And I said, not only am I going to help you, let's publish it. So I created Portal Star Kids for her.
Great.
And so she is just not only a darling, but the biggest heart and so talented. She illustrated and wrote everything on her own. I was allowed to make I say allowed. She knows exactly what she wants, and so I was allowed to make a few recommendations. But she adding her and Portal Star Kids to Portal Star Publishing is what I really love doing. So I feel, again, truly blessed and grateful to have that opportunity and to work with every author on my site. I've worked with them. except for one, because she's new, and that's Deborah. But her book is wonderful as well. And so I'm just living a charmed life, I
Well,
feel.
congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Traci, when your other job, when you're not being the marketing director of NHWP, is related to dogs, which that's a big thing with me as a dog lover.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about that in the time that we have left?
I feel very fortunate to be working with the Hampshire Writers Project and doing what I love with dogs, which is Golden Dog Adventure Company. We create fun and unique experiences for dogs and their people to get out and enjoy nature and learn new training techniques and be connected with one another. And you know, to at this point in my life, to be able to get up and do two things that I love is extremely rewarding. So I'm grateful.
And
That's fantastic.
NHWP is planning to bring that aspect for our members as well.
Pups and Pros.
What?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, I'm
yes.
so
The
there.
ideas that we have.
I know. Long list of. Yeah, we have to calm ourselves down because we look and we say, "Oh, when will we get all this
Well,
done?"
that's like that's a whole show, Pups and Pros. I'll bring my dog to that.
There we go.
So one more thing, the New Hampshire Literary Awards, that is going to be starting up
That has
this year.
That actually, the submissions have started February 14th,
Mhm.
and they close, I believe it's
June 6th.
June 6th, thank you. And so it's $75. You can nominate yourself. Your publisher can nominate you. And we look for 3 books. And the application is online, so it's all easy to do. And we look forward to having a great number of submissions. Last year we had close to 60, and the year before we had over 80 submissions, and that just tells you what was happening with COVID. So hopefully our numbers will be up again, because it was really wonderful. And then we have a ceremony in October, and I believe this year it will be at the Puritan Back Room.
And the people who receive the awards, which you and I have both done in the past,
We
are
tied.
featured on Read Local NH, or they were for this past group.
They were, and we'll probably do that again because I thought it was a good programming recommendation, and it was really nice to promote the literary awards and its winners. So not only do they get a crystal trophy, and now the seal that goes on their book that's saying which category they won, but there's also the interview afterwards. So I think it's well covered.
Mm-hmm.
It's nicely covered.
That's great. Yeah, that's really good. Thank you both for being here. It's been a pleasure to speak to you about an organization that I'm very proud to belong to.
Thank you for having us.
And I'm always happy to support, and I'm really looking forward to the 603 conference. And I recommend anyone who is interested, you do not have to be published to become a member. And if you're even just thinking about perhaps writing a book of any kind, or a play, or a poem, or any part of the literary process, New Hampshire Writers Project is just a wonderful and very supportive organization, and they seem to go from strength to strength, as you've heard today. I would like to thank Concord Community TV for hosting and providing the production facilities for Turning Pages, and especially our producer, Matt Arsenault, in the control room. And I look forward to seeing you next month when Paul Brogan will be back here in the studio with me. Thank you very much.